ऑलराइट बॉयज, वेलकम बैक। आई होप आप लोग को याद है कि अपन ये कैसे करते हैं, क्योंकि मस्त पे की
क्या?
एक महीने के break के बाद थोड़ा क्या हो रहा है, माइक कैसे कनेक्ट होता है।
जो लिटरली हुआ है, वरुण भूल गया है माइक का क्या है साउंड, कैसे
Bro,
करते हैं
by,
कैंसलेशन ऑन।
by the way, I'm still getting reacquainted with sweat.
ओ या
ये
ब्रो,
ये होता क्या है? ये क्यों होता है? ये
क्यों
कैसे
होता
बंद
है?
होता है?
और ऐसे सांस लिया तो खांसने लग गए थे। पहले खांसरा नहीं था वो, 30 दिन तो मस्त क्या सांस ले रहा था, मजे। But anyway, before we start, we would like to thank each and every one of you who came out, bought tickets, and came to watch the TIS Uncensored Europe and UK shows. It was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
बहुत ज्यादा मजा। इसलिए आज के एपिसोड में वी आर गोइंग टू डू अ टिस यूरोप टूर रिकैप। तो पहले हम आपको उसके बारे में बताएंगे, फिर व्लॉगेश निकलेगा, तब हम आपको उसके बारे में दिखाएंगे। और अगर आपने 1 लाख रुपए भरे तो आप आ सकते हैं हमारे साथ अगले टूर पे।
या
और
99999 नेक्स्ट टिकट।
The
फोटो
internet said so. Tours and travels package deal.
ट्रैवल पैक।
इन पार्टनरशिप विद एसओटीसी। थैंक
यस, बट
All meals
also
prepared by Neville Shah.
or yes, and eaten also by him.
यू या
But also want to thank each and every one of you for all the gifts, the lovely presents, chocolates, खाना, कपड़े, merch, पता नहीं क्या क्या सब लोग लेके आए थे। Thank you so much. It was amazing. Oh wow, you have it handy. Great.
Yeah, yeah.
मैं ऐसे ही
This
लेके घूमता हूँ। आई बीन हैविंग अ बाथ विद दिस, जस्ट रोमिंग अराउंड। मैं इसमें चेन
Oil
लगा
it.
के अपने गले में लटका के घूमूंगा।
No, but yeah, people have I by the way, thank you so much because I got to eat the weird foods from around the world. क्योंकि पब्लिक सुपरमार्केट से चीजें लेके आए। ये बर्लिन का अजीब चीज, ये
हाँ,
एम्स्टर्डम का अजीब
बट
चीज।
वेज
कुछ
खाना।
बट खुद शॉपिंग करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी। यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग द
Yeah,
एडवांटेज हियर, वे वे
right.
लाइक अरे नहीं हमको चॉकलेट लाना पड़ेगा, ये लाना पड़ेगा घर लेके। वी गॉट द
ब्रो मैं
बेस्ट।
एक्चुअली भूल गया,
Yeah.
बिकॉज आई वाज
या
सपोज टू टेक टोनीज चॉकलोनी फ्रॉम एम्स्टरडैम, और मैं भूल गया लेने के लिए। एंड देन सडनली जो गिफ्ट्स आए, जो पब्लिक आया अपना देखने के लिए, खोल के देखा तो अंदर ऑलरेडी चॉकलेट थे। सो चॉकलेट, दारू, खाना पीना सब कुछ। थैंक यू ईच एंड एवरी वन ऑफ यू, बहुत ज्यादा मजा आया। तो अभी आप लोग जो लोग नहीं थे वहां पर, आपके लिए पेश है हमारे यूरोप ट्रिप का रिकैप। तो पहले चालू करते हैं इंट्रो के साथ। Hello and welcome to another episode of the Internet Set. So, a show where we take random missing riddles, facts, develop stories, and we talk about it. And guys, कैसे लग रहे हैं? सबसे पहले मेरे को कौतुक को पूछने के लिए, आदर तू ऑलरेडी है यूरोप, ठीक है, तू है यूके में, तू रोज महसूस करते है। भावतुक, तेरे लिए कैसा था
Oh,
यूरोप?
yeah, this was my first time to Europe. So it was, I was looking forward to it and saw it. And I feel like, so I saw, in fact, I saw a few more cities than these
Hmm.
guys. So I
या
had landed in Zurich, stayed there a day, and then went to Madrid. And then did Amsterdam, Berlin, London, and then stayed with a friend at Cambridge. So बहुत मजा
आई
आया. Like, for
वंडर
example,
व्हाट यू डिड एट मैड्रिड।
I'll tell you. So I'll tell you. So for example, Zurich kind of sums up a lot of Europe for me because it's like, what if there was a medieval place that had really high speed internet? What if that was a continent? That's like it. Like for me, the thing about Europe that was really interesting is they genuinely have so much of their architecture and history and everything in place even today. Like when you're walking through it, you really you really don't get a sense that Lodha has ever seen this place. It's really,
लोधा लोधा जेनीवा बना नहीं है अभी तक, आएगा।
हाँ, अभी तक नहीं आया. Like obviously, and I'm
No,
talking.
and to think that Europe went through 2 wars, so a
Yeah,
lot of places that you were walking at were bombed at some point of time,
yeah,
right? They were
exactly.
reduced to rubble and still gotten back.
Gotten back. And the thing is, like, I mean, obviously I'm talking about like pockets. Obviously, there are still pockets which are super modern and all of that stuff. But like overall, you get this sense of uh like cobblestone. The most surprising thing, a few surprising things for me. One, you can travel with a suitcase in these cities.
Yeah.
And I remember telling these guys on the trip, ki, you can get off from a plane with your 23 kg heavy suitcase and drag it across an entire city to wherever you're staying. And I was just thinking about the logistics of doing that in Andheri. And
Uh,
I stopped at getting out of my lift.
Yeah.
That's where that ends. But
But
yeah,
don't you feel like that one thing that we kept talking about even while like all of us were walking around, right? It's a very people first sort of vibe there, right? Like, okay, how
Except
do we make it
Amsterdam, which
easier
is
for
cycle first.
हाँ
Except
साइकिल
Amsterdam.
नहीं वही तो बोल रहा हूँ ना, लाइक पेडेस्ट्रियंस के लिए
yeah,
और तेरे पास साइकिल लेन पकड़, उन लोग गाड़ी के लिए इतना छोटा सा लेन रखा है,
yeah.
उन लोग गाड़ी के पार्किंग के लिए इसके लिए लो एमिशन जोन ये वो, तो अगर तू गाड़ी लेके कोई भी यूरोपियन सिटीज में घूम रहा है तो तू चूतिया है, क्योंकि तू
नहीं नहीं,
बहुत पैसे दे
गाड़ी लेना पाप है, पाप.
पाप है,
Wow.
पाप है.
Like,
They will make you pay. Like they'll make the punishment. It's a punishment to buy a car.
yeah. How did you get this evil thought?
हाँ.
हाँ तेरे को क्या लगता है man? Because like in Amsterdam, remember we saw people in like full suits, top to bottom suit, proper ये वो बैग वैग लेके, वो कोई कंपनी का सीईओ है by the way, जो ऐसे फटाफट साइकिल चला के पहुंच गया. And it was so cool. Like in fact we walked much. अपन
Yeah,
कितना चले? You remember that day we walked 32 kilometers by the way.
yeah,
Kautuk,
and
Adar and I on our
most of
first
it
day.
was thanks to Varun Thakur.
Yeah.
So please wait, before we get into that story, one thing that I think we should talk about is, where is Neville Shah?
Oh
Over
yeah, we totally forgot. So
Yeah,
guys,
the answer to that is
Baba, is always super busy. तो अभी भी उसका कुछ ना कुछ कैंपेन चालू है, वो किधर ट्रैवल कर रहा है, ये वो है. So unfortunately, we were not able to shoot at the time with him. But whenever he is free next, he will obviously be coming in. And if he has not already put himself at the top of this episode apologizing, then he will put himself at the top of the
Yeah.
next episode apologizing. But जब भी बाबा free होगा आ जाएगा, तब तक के लिए हम तीन रहेंगे.
And the actual reason is this, that when he has too much fun, he compensates by not coming on episodes.
Yes.
हाँ,
लेकिन बाबा को घुमाया ये ट्रिप पे फुल.
अरे बहुत बहुत.
बहुत.
Good morning, and I say good morning because it is 2:15 in the morning in San Francisco where I am. And I'm sorry I was not there when the boys recorded, because when we tried to, we weren't able to match times. Kautuk was slightly unwell. I was also traveling and super busy and all of that, but I'm here. And anything that they have said in the podcast about me being a fun person is absolutely false advertising, and I do not subscribe to that belief. But you can subscribe to the podcast. Okay, bye bye. Please continue with regular programming.
So
Like
wait, Thakur, tell us about what was that place that you wanted to take us to, which was so happening?
Okay, so we were in Amsterdam. We went all over Vondel Park, the Pai. There's another area in Amsterdam called Jordan. You have a lot of
Oh my
cafes,
God.
you have nice bars, etc., etc. It's a good area. Now, I remember when I had gone the previous time, I found a lot of places, but for the life of me, couldn't remember the name of the bar / the food place I want to take these guys to. So we decided, fuck it, we're just going to walk. And we kept walking and walking and walking and walking. Everything was shut for whatever reason. Then we realized it was what, middle of the week or something. So most places were shutting by about 7, 8 types. So we kept walking, kept trying to find this place whose name neither of us knew. But we're like, नहीं, थोड़ा अपन चलते रहेंगे ना तो पहुंच जाएंगे. I don't know why we didn't. आदर चिल्ला चिल्ला के बोल रहा था, ट्रैम लेते हैं ना, ट्रैम लेते हैं ना. But we just ignored him. We ignored him. We said,
No, you know what it was?
नहीं. हाँ. It was the 10-minute problem.
Yeah.
It was like, अच्छा ट्रैम लेंगे तो खाली 7 मिनट बचेंगे, but walk करेंगे तो 10 मिनट लग रहे हैं. तो क्या है? Let's keep walking. But every time we would get to the place, वो कुआं और आगे जाते जा रहा था.
So
हम
let
उठ
me
के
tell you,
अरे,
let me tell you one thing that Thakur has not revealed in this story. Okay, it is this. So the thing is that Thakur is a connoisseur of vibes. Okay, he's what I like. You know how there is a bloodhound that you
Yeah.
give it something to sniff and then it just sniffs out the thing. So Thakur is a vibe hound. Okay, where he sniffs out a vibe. Now the problem is
Yes.
Thakur refuses to go to any place which doesn't have the vibe. So we have passed one after another cozy, perfectly nice, good bars, pubs, restaurants, which were serving hot food, cold beverages. I have constantly stopped both of them and said, hey guys, how about this place?
Yeah.
How about this place?
Yeah.
How about this place? And every single time Thakur has looked at it and said, वाइब नहीं है.
अरे वो मेरे को तुम लोग को थोड़ा ऑफ द सेंट्रल में जाके कमर्श एरिया में 3 गुना प्राइस पे सेम चीज खाना, मुझे वो नहीं था. प्लस यू इफ यू फॉरगॉटन, तीनों के दिमाग में एक चीज अटक गई थी. वी वांटेड पिज्जा.
हाँ,
एंड
हाँ
अभी वो क्यों अटकी थी वो आप जानते हो.
हाँ
एग्जैक्टली. बस एक बार दिमाग में था कि अभी यही खाना है तो यही खाना है. तो तुम लोग को याद है, तो हम लोग पिज्जा पार्लर के हिसाब से हम लोग मैप करते हो. अच्छा ये पिज्जा, उधर क्या, अरे बंद है, अरे इधर क्या, नहीं खाना अभी किचन बंद हो गए. रिमेंबर दे केप्ट सेइंग दैट लाइक एट a lot of places.
या
And it became, you know, what do you call it, the sunk cost fallacy. वही है ना.
हाँ कि अभी चाहिए
इसमें
ही, हाँ अभी इतना
अभी
टाइम
यही
स्पेंड किया
चाहिए,
है. हाँ
तो अभी पिज्जा ही खाना है और किधर नहीं
और वो
मिला
भी
तो हम लोग
स्लाइस पिज्जा चाहिए था. ऐसा नहीं,
It's
देयर वाज अ
called-
प्लेस वी फाउंड व्हिच वाज गिविंग फुल पिज्जा, जो 14 इंच का पिज्जा मिल रहा था, व्हिच वी कुड हैव बॉट, बट नहीं, हमको स्लाइसेस खाने.
ठाकुर, इट्स कॉल्ड द स्टक रिकॉर्ड फैलेसी, क्योंकि अपना अटक गया था नीडल. ठीक है.
हाँ.
एंड द थिंग इज दैट, सो एग्जैक्टली ही वांटेड स्लाइस पिज्जा एंड ही सेड दैट देयर इज दिस अमेजिंग स्लाइस प्लेस, यू वी हैव टू फाइंड इट, राइट? सो and by the way, we have stopped at a place where someone who watched the podcast met us.
Yeah.
And they were like, अरे
Oh,
तुम
yeah,
लोग क्या
I
कर
forgot
रहे
about
हो?
that.
And then we were like, हाँ, स्लाइस पिज्जा कहाँ मिलेगा? Guys, इधर जा उधर जा. तो अपन सब गए, ठीक है, नहीं मिला है. And then finally we have stopped at,
नहीं, मत बोल ब्रो, मत
नहीं
बोल.
बोलना तो पड़ेगा अभी. Here's how the night has ended. It has ended finally with us getting nothing, and then we've landed up at New York Pizza. And
Yeah.
we've had what, it wasn't even a pizza, it was poorly seasoned maida slices.
Which we have
No.
like just nibbled little bit. उसमें उसको पेपरोनी बोला तो उसने एक जो राउंड है ना पेपरोनी का, उसको उसने 12 पीस में काट के डाला. हार्डली कुछ भी नहीं था, वो मैदा था सिर्फ.
I
उन्होंने ऐसे
refuse
ऐसे
to
खाया.
touch. I refuse to touch this piece of.
Yeah.
हाँ.
And
but
the
it
moment,
got better, right?
हाँ,
Because we
हाँ.
were in the center and we said, अरे नहीं भाई, ये कमर्शियल है बहुत, ये कमर्शियल सीन नहीं चाहिए, तो अपन थोड़ा यॉर्डन या द पाइप जाएंगे. पूरा हम लोग वहां घूमे, उधर नहीं था, सब बंद था. बंद होके वी केम बैक टू द फकिंग सेंटर, टू एन इवन वर्स प्लेस.
Yeah.
Every other place Kautuk had seen again was fine, but
was
commercial
great.
नहीं करना है.
Was
We
great.
came to
Michelin
New York
star.
Pizza, पैसा भर के ऐसे खा के फेंक दिया है, बोला नहीं खाना है. और फिर आदर आया है गरम फलाफल बॉल लेके.
Oh
Because
my.
the moment I shifted my gaze away from pizza, suddenly there was a bunch of hot food around. It just मैं पिज्जा ढूंढ रहा था. Suddenly से टनल विजन हटा. I was like, oh यहाँ पे फ्रेश फलाफल हाथ से फ्रेश बना के 2 बजे दे रहा है मुझे.
तो अपना मिस्टेक ये हो गया that we were also going after a time when their kitchen and all was shut. That was the other problem also.
Yeah.
So anyway, then we ended the night with, I think हम लोगों ने कितने 16 फलाफल बॉल खाए.
हाँ, at
उसको
least.
बोलते थे, इंडियन आदमी था बिहाइंड द काउंटर, दे भाई तू बना. वो बना रहे गर्मा गर्म ऐसे
Oh, yeah.
फलाफल को डाल के खा के. ये थी हमारी
Bro,
night.
that night we have walked so much that like I can't tell you how मुझे अब वो योर्दान नाम से घिन आती है. Like now Michael Jordan is not my favorite player anymore. अभी शकील ओनिल.
Dude, we
Thanks to
met some
Thakur.
this army member also we met.
Yeah.
So
हाँ.
remember he was walking and he said, listen, if you guys are looking, ये वाले जगह पे जाओ, इसका बहुत अच्छा है. And we said yes and did exactly the
Bro,
opposite
it was like being literally in The Alchemist. कि
Yes.
तू पूरा दुनिया घूम के आया और तेरे को पता
End
चला
में.
because guess where you could get slice pizzas at that hour in the night? Back at the hostel.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Firstly, speaking of, we have 3 of us, because Baba is too bougie to stay in a hostel. We have stayed in a 4-person in a room hostel. बोल दे guys, कितना
Yeah,
मजा
yeah.
आया.
Yes. बहुत
And
मजा
वहाँ
आया. And after walking 32 kilometers, this is what happens.
Superb.
पे ये फर्स्ट नाइट है कि सेकंड नाइट है?
Superb.
The first night. This is very, very first night.
ओह
Superb.
खत्म लोग.
Because by the way, this also looks like the second night because the second night was
Looks like the second night. So I'm confused, but then I had to look at the date stamp. ये पहला है कि दूसरा है? ये 32 किलोमीटर वाला डे है
थोड़ा
क्योंकि ठाकुर
थोड़ा
पानी के बॉटल के साथ सो रहा है कि he needs to be hydrated even in his dreams now.
bro. By the way, the second night.
सेकंड हाँ सेकंड डे का पूरा एक कॉन्टेक्स्ट है. तो सेकंड डे फाइनली हमारी मुलाकात हुई है द गेस्ट मेंबर ऑफ दिस पॉडकास्ट बाबा से.
Yeah.
तो बाबा and it's rained also, so it literally did rain on our parade where we wanted to actually be out and go see more of the city, but rain gods बोला नहीं बैठो अंदर, और torrential rain.
Thakur, my theory is that Baba brings the rain with him.
Yeah.
His
Bro,
depression just
the
attracts the
sadness.
gloomy weather.
Bro, I think
By the way,
we
so
took a lot of Bombay with us because
Yeah.
wherever the three of us went, उधर बारिश गिरा और for some reason construction चालू है. धड़ 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 ने 1 मिनट पूरा यूरोप में नहीं हुआ. जिधर भी हम लोग जा रहे उधर magically construction appear हो रहा है.
Yeah, the only thing missing was the stormwater department, which
Yeah.
did not leave Mumbai.
So
Dude,
anyway, so
हम
we
लोग इतना डरे हुए थे सेकंड डे पे कि we are not going to repeat the same pizza mistake again. So the first place Kautuk pointed. Oh, अच्छा मेरा भी हो रहा है अभी. The first place Kautuk pointed, we walked straight into there,
Yeah.
which was this piece of shit.
What is that?
It's
Oh,
that cheese platter that you fucking
Oh,
ordered.
yes.
Kasbar. Wait,
Oh,
we have to
yes.
get to that. Okay, all the people listening to us,
Oh, yes.
you should come and watch it because Aadar is
Yeah.
also doing a PowerPoint presentation with some pictures. So
It's very
if
funny.
you're listening to it and you want to see it visually, you should come and watch it on YouTube. Anyway, so yeah, just again giving little context for day 2. So we've gotten stuck inside and we have rehearsed, which was a great move, I think, on our part
Yeah.
because
Had to.
we hadn't met in almost a month. The last show was a month before, so you will obviously be a little rough around the edges. तो हम लोगों ने रिहर्सल उड़ा दिया, बोला बारिश का फायदा उठाते हैं, एडवांटेज ले सकते हैं. ले लिया, रिहर्स कर लिया और फिर हम लोग निकल गए. हल्का बारिश बंद हुआ, ना निकलीस. And like we've gone to a bunch of places, eating, meeting, and then again we started walking. और फिर कौतुक को आने लग गए फ्लैशेस और फिर पड़ने लग गई बारिश और फिर कुछ तो होने लग गया कि नहीं कल का नहीं करेंगे, ये जगह अच्छी लग रही है, यहाँ चलो. So place is called Kasbar. We're like, okay, cool, Kasbar. It looked pretty full. They had an outside section. And अपन इंडियन पब्लिक जब भी जाता है बाहर ना कि अरे ठंड चाहिए, गर्मी में नहीं बैठना.
वो हीटर के नीचे बहुत मजा आ रहा
हीटर
था.
के नीचे
And the thing
जाके
is,
बाहर बैठे.
the thing is, I saw Kasbar as just Kasbar, like a random name, right? Only once we had entered, right, and gotten the menus, does Thakur suddenly realize that he knows what Kasbar means?
It's cheese. तो उधर मिल रहा है वाइन और चीज एंड अदर अल्कोहल आल्सो, बट मेनली चीज था उधर. तो
Yeah.
एक तो 20 मिनट लगा है वो आदमी को. आई डोंट नो, समटाइम्स दे जस्ट डोंट, आई डोंट, दे कांट सी अस, दे डोंट वांट टू टेक द ऑर्डर, आई डोंट नो व्हाट. हम लोग 20 मिनट बाहर बैठे, हाथ दिखाते जा रहे, अंदर गए एक बार कि भाई कुछ ऑर्डर तो ले, फिर फाइनली मेन्यू लेके आया
To be fair,
और उस पे है
Thakur,
चीज. आदर तेरे को ये याद है कि नहीं, ऐसे ऐसे 100 चीज के वैरायटी है ये वो.
40.
तो देख
40.
कौतुक.
I'll have first.
So to give you context, okay, पहला तो I feel like they didn't come to us because I think they also knew that we had made a mistake.
Yeah.
ये 3 लोग को चीज
Like they're giving us an opportunity to get up and leave.
why not?
But कौतुक को बिल्ली दिख गई, तो वहां पे बिल्ली थी एक, तो कहते थे यहाँ ही बैठेंगे हम लोग, अभी क्यूट बिल्ली बैठी है यहाँ पे.
So finally he's come with that 40 cheese long menu, right? And then he's
Oh,
explained
God.
ki this, start from here. These are the, for people who don't know cheese, these are the cheese that you like. And then the 4th category are cheeses that only if you are a hardcore cheese person and you like the smell of feet, then go for these.
Yeah. Basically, it
So-
gets smellier as you go from 1 to 40.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then the
एक
first
का
one,
नाम पढ़ा ना तो बास आने लगी कि अरे ये तो चाहिए नहीं भाई नंबर 40. तो अभी ऑलरेडी बास आ रहा है नाम पढ़ के.
so the first cheese was a caramel popcorn cheese.
Yes. This
जो मैंने-
this piece of shit.
And by the way, the most hilarious part is that this cheese has come and you have to eat that with cracker and the jam and the this.
हाँ.
Except he got the cracker 20 minutes before he got the cheese. और अपन इंडियन दारू पी रहे तो उसके साथ चखना तो चीज.
I genuinely
अरे
thought-
but honestly दारू उस टाइम था नहीं, तो कौतुक has bought a wine and this. अभी कौतुक की वाइन आई नहीं है, लेकिन हम लोग के बियर या कुछ आ गया है, तो हम लोग खा रहे हैं और वो खाते जा रहे हैं. फिर उसकी चीज अलग से आई है, and then after he's done with the cheese, then the wine has shown up. So none of it has been had the way it was intended to be had by Kautuk.
Zero. I don't even know what was intended for which thing, but anyway, कुछ तो
We weren't intended for that place. That food
Yeah.
and that alcohol wasn't intended for us. But we took a pit stop for 1 hour, and then we've come up with a great idea. We're like, कल जैसा नहीं करेंगे, लेकिन अभी हम लोग हर जगह ना जाके we'll like bar hop. We did a little bit of a
Yeah.
bar crawl only. कि हम लोग हर जगह रुकेंगे. Whereas we have also gone and stopped at a gelateria.
oh my god.
जिलाटो खाने. ठीक है, मैं और आदर चल रहे हैं. आदर बोलता है, ब्रो फक वो जिलाटो देख क्या मस्त लग रहा है. हम लोग बाहर है, ऑपोजिट साइड ऑफ द स्ट्रीट पे. जिलाटो किधर दिखाई भी नहीं दे रहा है, सिर्फ नाम है.
हाँ.
लेकिन आदर बोला, ब्रो इधर का मस्त लग रहा है, इधर जाते हैं. तो हम लोग दोनों पहले जाके लिया है जिलाटो. उसके बाद भावतुक और बावा है, और सबको बोला है कि उधर का स्मॉल मतलब लार्ज है.
Oh my
You
goodness.
remember how big that gelato was?
Yes.
It
Yes.
was like twice covered. I'm like, भाई ये डायबिटीज है स्ट्रेट.
तेरा बिजनेस चल रहा कैसे है? you're over delivering. Please madam, stop.
Bro, मेरे को
But they say ना, how do you know that a gelato place is good?
Is a good. So हम लोग खा रहे हैं आइसक्रीम बैठ
बता
के,
दे.
and then Bawa shows up. Okay, Bawa fucking shows up. Now we are all having fun, enjoying ice cream and remembering being nostalgic. And then Bawa decides to come and get his ice cream. And for some reason he's decided कि we are going to steal his ice cream. And goes and does this. हम लोग एक कोने में अलग से enjoy कर रहे हैं, and Bawa has gone like a dog who's protecting his food.
We all have our ice creams in our hand.
No,
हाँ.
no, I don't think he was trying to protect his ice cream. I think he just likes to eat alone.
मुझे अकेला बैठ के खाने का.
So he was
But by the way, we still didn't complete the story of how do you know a gelato
हाँ.
place is good. So it is said that every time you go to a gelateria, always go and take it from the ones where the ice creams are covered.
Yeah.
Because what you're usually used to seeing is you go to a gelateria and पूरा होता है ना बाहर खुला. खुला in the sense you can see it, and then you मेरे को इसका taste दे, उसका taste दे. They try and attract you with how it's looking as well. Apparently those aren't the right ones you should go for, because the ones that are kept covered, you can still take a taste and all, but it won't be on display. It's kept under covers. So, and dude, I totally agree with that theory, because this gelato that we had at this specific place was infinitely better than so many. That was our dinner, by the way, because that on a night we've decided to do a pub crawl and go to multiple different places. We have committed mistakes that we did when we were 18.
Yeah.
That is not lining up your stomach before you go out on a night
not
of
having
drinking.
water.
कुछ नहीं, हम लोग पता नहीं क्या कर रहे थे. हम लोग क्या चल रहा क्या था मेरे को नहीं मालूम, because we ate lunch at 5 and this is like at 9, and then we are
Which
going
was also
to
breakfast. Our lunch, breakfast, everything. Our day used to start. हम लोग जाते रेस्टोरेंट में, okay, let's have breakfast. And रेस्टोरेंट का लास्ट ऑर्डर चल रहा है.
Bro, not since FYJC. At like have I like made such basic mistakes? Basic. But I mean, it also tells you like what kind of fun night it was, because like I feel like the hangover the next day is directly proportional to how fun the night was before.
Yes,
And
we'll get to the hangover, but let's tell them a little bit more about
I'll
the
tell
night
you about
it was.
the night.
Acha, one thing I realized when you're traveling with friends, even though you've known them for years, like Kautuk, I have traveled with Kautuk before.
Yeah.
But Kautuk kind of, I have a travel energy. Varun has a travel energy. When Kautuk is traveling with me, he doesn't let his primary, like, arey bench.
Wow, that's
I
really
didn't know
sweet.
That showed up when you said you and Kautuk traveling.
Yeah. So he doesn't let his primary instinct come through, his primary character, travel character. But when you mix Kautuk with Neville, we have this weird combination of Kaka and Chacha.
Kaka and Mama. And Ajoba.
Which was extraordinary. Throughout the trip, they became these two uncles. Who have
No, but that's the thing. Kautuk oscillates from ऐसे एक काका बनेगा और suddenly यही होने के बाद जब हम दूसरे बार में गए थे, Kautuk was the चल जाए तू क्या पिएगा, तू क्या पिएगा, अरे मस्त है, अरे तेरे को मालूम है ये वेटर मथायस डलाइट जैसे दिखता है, अरे क्या बात है। फुल इसका
Oh
फुल
man.
स्पेक्ट्रम था कौतुक के ट्रिप पे।
Yeah, no, this is true. This is true. I like what Adar is saying is absolutely true, and what Thakur is also saying. So basically, I have unfortunately morphed into what I can only
बट
describe
दैट्स व्हेन
as.
नेविल इज देयर, जब बावा निकल गया था और फिर कौतुक
हाँ,
हमारे साथ है, फिर कौतुक वापस फ्लिप,
बैक टू, हाँ,
तो जैसे नेविल आ गया वापस से मफलर वफलर निकल के सब है।
I, I'm one of those chemicals that takes its
yeah.
characteristics from
Properties.
the
You're carbon. You're basically carbon. You're
from
a
the things
carbon
around
particle.
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
हाँ,
But
But
we have to tell people about traveling with बावा and how much. By the way, बावा वो जब भी अकेले खुद ट्रिप पे जाता है पता नहीं क्या करता है, लेकिन हम लोग ने उसको ये ट्रिप पे फोर्सफुली इतना निकलवाया है और आया भी है वो. Gotta
yeah,
give
yeah.
him credit where
Props.
due, right? There was a time when we were doing the second day ka full walk. Again, we didn't take trams, we made Bawa walk with us. At one point of time, didn't he just fold his hands and he was hiding and taking shade in that tram ka stop because it
Yeah,
was too cold.
this moron. So again, we are all chill. इतना ठंडी नहीं है. Baba is trying to escape his excuse is मेरे को यहाँ खड़ा रहना है क्योंकि wind आ रही है. So it's Baba and this really old lady who's
one
judging
second,
Baba.
1 second. So Bawa, if you can't see from that photograph, because of the way he was wearing his hoodie and just general Bawa vibes, he looked exactly like a person who would mug you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's why the lady behind is scared. You can't see the fright on her face.
Exactly. So this poor lady is like, oh God, at what point do I have to hand over all my belongings?
So we've made him walk. In fact, remember at one point of time, so we've gone into Vondel Park, which by the way, the Dutch pronounce as Vondel Park.
Yeah.
And non-ironically, because V is F, is Vondel Park. So we've gone to Vondel Park and we are walking inside. And at this point, we've pretty much, okay, there's 1/3 of the length of the thing still left to cover, right? Or andhera hone lag gaya. So we said, let's go into one of these gullies inside Vondel Park because it's full.
1 second. This is another thing that I want to this is another thing that I felt in Europe, which was very different. So here's the thing, okay? My nervous system has been wired and set up for Mumbai, India. Okay. So everything about it is about Mumbai, India. So when I go to Europe, उनका idea of safety बहुत अलग है हम लोग से, बहुत अलग. So what I mean is, Vondel Park at what? This is 6:37. So the sun has set.
हाँ 7:30 था, 7:30.
7:30 था. Sun has set. Okay, it's dark. Okay, and there are all these. So there is the main trail, and then there are these trails that go inside of the main trail, and these are completely like wooded, dark trails, right? So we said कि इसमें घुसेंगे, right? And Thakur was like, घुस सकते हैं क्योंकि Amsterdam है, safe है, right? And I was like, my nervous system can't compute because I'm just like, इसके अंदर 4 ड्रगी, 6 मर्डरर घुस के बैठे होंगे. Like, why are we doing this, right? So yeah.
सबसे ज्यादा बावा की फट रही थी, सबसे ज्यादा बावा की फट रही थी, which is what I was taught. ऐसे एक बार तेरी क्यों फट रही है इतनी? बावा की बहुत फट रही थी. बोले अबे नहीं यार, क्यों जा रहे, अरे मत जाते यार, क्यों जा रहे, क्यों? फिर कैसे तो आया.
Yeah.
Baba आया, लेकिन that is the key thing.
No, and so the thing is, we enter this trail, okay, super dark, where 100% you would have been stabbed if this was Mumbai, okay. So हम लोग घुसे अंदर.
Not even the person who stabs you didn't even want to stab you. It's just the atmosphere around. The mise-en-scène of the place was, you work, you're an accountant, but तू वो गली में जाकर अरे किसको stab कर देता,
किसको
भाई?
चाकू मार रहे हैं?
इधर वाइब है, एकदम अंधेरा है ना, इधर किसी ने बात करके दिया नहीं तो क्या फायदा? अरे भाई तुम अच्छा
तो
खासा
चाकू मारने का भी वाइब चाहिए होता है. तो
एक घोपने का एटमॉस्फेयर. So we've entered this dark thing, and here's what we see. Okay, about 3 minutes into entering this place, we suddenly see these red lights. Okay, which are about
alien
5 inches from the ground. Okay, these red lights, 4 of them, right? Circles, red lights, like zipping towards us.
Yeah.
And we stop in our tracks. We're like, are you seeing what I'm seeing? And everyone's like, yeah, dude, that's red lights. And then as the lights come closer, we realize that the lights were on collars of these Dachshund dogs. Okay, so these dogs have basically, because the guy is walking them in the night, he's got these lit collars. So these dogs come and they like start sniffing us, and this very friendly Dutch gentleman is like, those are my young dogs." And
Over explaining in a way.
yeah, and my
I've
nervous
seen this
system.
happen in slow motion. Okay, the dogs have come, dude has walked, Kautuk is here, right? So पहले ही Kautuk आदमी को देख के ना थोड़ा ऐसे 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 चले बाबा के
क्योंकि
सब लोग ऐसे नॉर्मल चल रहे हैं और से सामने से आदमी आ रहा है ना, सब लोग ऐसे एक हल्का सा राइट लेके बात ही नहीं करने का, पता नहीं इसके बाद चाकू है कि नहीं. And he came very sweetly and he asked कि hey, you know my dogs, how are you guys liking Amsterdam, ऐसे कुछ तो पूछा और हम लोग ने
yeah. I mean,
करके आगे निकल गए.
I'm certain he was just a friendly guy, but I
Yeah.
couldn't shake off the fact that ये dog के बारे में पूछूंगा तो
और सीधा एक how's my dog, क्या होगा दे वॉयलेट.
So yeah, so this was basically we went into all of these places and then finally made our way across several bars till we finally landed upon this one bar where the vibe was exactly it. Exactly
My
it.
vibe was exactly it, means we were the right level of drunk, so that
Yeah.
ये vibe.
To find
तो
this
नहीं,
vibe
because-
acceptable.
because Thakur, उन लोग का म्यूजिक बाद में जब अपन अंदर गए
हाँ.
तो इन लोग का म्यूजिक, so basically they had a mix of 2000s pop and
हाँ, throwback.
some Dutch hits. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck,
हाँ.
which are amazing. So
And by the way, at this point in time, it's only three of us, because Baba is again bounced to go eat somewhere, some other friends he's going and meeting. So at this point in time, it's been 3 odd hours without Baba being with us.
Baba.
3 hours without Baba being with us. And now we are the right level of, like, hi, you're getting emotional because अरे इतना बड़ा चीज हुआ अपना. Remember we had that really emo conversation outside also कि, to think of अरे we have to do this tour to actually end up doing it, and you are in Amsterdam, you are about to do your show, tour begins tomorrow, एकदम overflowing emotions हो रहे थे.
it really hit us at that point, I think. Ki, like,
Hmm.
it's pretty crazy that a podcast, like, literally just like, 4 friends doing bhankas has traveled, from India to a different continent, is doing shows in 3 different cities. It's pretty crazy. So we were sitting there and reminiscing, and that's when Thakur goes like, bro, ba hona chahiye idhar, right?
हाँ ना,
And
मतलब अपन चारों चाहिए
so
और
so
बाबा ये सब कर रहा था
Adarana inside and Thakur
Yeah.
है बाहर, और then he comes
और
back
मैं
5
सीधा
minutes
फोन
later.
उठा के
Yeah. And he tells us
Emotional.
this. He says, bro, मैंने बाबा को बहुत ईमो दिया है.
हाँ, मैं इसको बहुत ही इमो दिया ब्रो. फोन उठाया
ठाकुर
वो
का
एकदम हाँ
exact-
बोल. हाँ
हाँ. ठाकुर का
वो-
एग्जैक्ट लाइन था, ठाकुर केम बैक गोइंग, मैंने बाबा को बोला, मैंने तेरे से कुछ मांगा है कि आज तक?
मैं
कुछ
लिटरली
मांगा
ये लाइन
है
बोला उसको.
Wow.
मैं उसको बाहर गया ना, उसको फोन जब किया ना, वो बोल रहा है कि हाँ मैं उधर हूँ अपने दोस्त के साथ. मैं क्या कर रहा है, बिरयानी खा रहा हूँ. हाँ मैं बोला चूते तू ये सब बिरयानी खाने आया है इधर.
Amsterdam.
तो नहीं अबे मैं दोस्तों के साथ चिल कर. ऐसे तो तेरे दोस्तों को भी लेके, हम तेरे दोस्त नहीं है क्या? अरे नहीं वो तो है, तुम लोग कहाँ हो? बाहर में क्या करूंगा. ऐसे देख बाबा, मैंने कभी तेरे से कुछ भी मांगा है क्या आज तक लाइफ में? अपन इतने 15 साल से दोस्त है, कभी कुछ मांगा है? तो एकदम वो भी सीरियस होगा, नहीं ऐसा आज एक चीज मांग रहा हूँ, तू इधर आएगा. तो उसके आवाज में था एक रिलक्टेंस थी कि नहीं मेरे को नहीं आना है साले, लेकिन अच्छा ठीक है आता हूँ बोला. एंड श्योर इनफ, हाफ एन आवर 45 मिनट्स लेटर सडनली
Yeah.
we have seen, because for me this entire trip, Baba is this one man with a that white puffer jacket.
Yeah.
It's like if a snowman wore denims, and with a hood on, ऐसे एक Baba like polished मगर जैसे हमेशा दिख रहा है. That is my impression of Baba from this trip. और हमने ऐसे दरवाजा खोला और बाबा आया. मतलब क्या बात है बाबा. और वो भी ऐसे सब कर रहा था. मतलब दारू पिएगा? नहीं जैसे नहीं तू पिएगा विस्की और गर्म पानी, तो वो तू गले का तो एक्सक्यूज दे नहीं सकता है, तो वो भी पिया है उसने.
Yeah.
In fact, one, the thing is, like, as the night has gotten, now Baba's come, we've gone into again gear 5. अरे चलो अभी और ये बार बंद होगा, अभी एक और बार ढूंढना, हम वहां पर भी जाएंगे. Remember we went to a 5th bar, and
Yeah,
from
yeah.
there my
Yeah,
memory
we
sort of
did. Oh,
That
yeah.
It's
exact.
gone.
We don't. I totally forgot that after that bar shut, we went to another bar at some 3 o'clock, which was
Yeah.
popping. That's
Yeah.
where Baba was also there. And the reason I realized this is because I woken up the next morning and in my jacket pocket I found a Polaroid.
Oh, yes.
You remember?
I
I had
do.
no idea. ये क्या है? And then वो Polaroid देखा because
Oh,
at this second
yeah.
bar we met a Bangladeshi guy who was taking pictures inside.
Yeah,
और हम लोग
yeah,
उससे ये कर रहे हैं वो 10 यूरो बोला हमने भाई 10 क्या हमको क्या उल्लू बना रहा है तू गोरे लोग को उल्लू बना अपने को थोड़ा इंडिया डिस्काउंट दे 5 यूरो दिया है कुछ उसको. Then those it was like a fucking hangover movie like you started placing one thing and then you realize एक मिनट हम लोग यहाँ पर भी थे. और
yeah.
फिर बाबा ने बोला है कि साले तुम लोग को मालूम है लास्ट नाइट मैंने उबर में 40 यूरो भरा है. And then you guys can tell what happened after that Polaroid was taken.
Oh, so the Polaroid was the last clear memory that Thakur has of that
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
क्योंकि उसके बाद अपन उबर में बैठे, right? And as the Uber is driving, suddenly Thakur is sitting beside me. I can feel Thakur retching. Like, "Oops." And
और वो भी साला रात का टाइम है खाली है और रास्ते पे साइकिलिस्ट नहीं है तो आदमी भी भगा रहा है पूरा सब टर्न वन ले रहा है एंड विद एवरी टर्न ब्रो आई एम टेलिंग यू आई एम इफ आई शट माय आईज आई कैन स्टिल फील इट because there's two things. One is you want to throw up. Secondly, there is a fine in Amsterdam if you
Yes.
throw up
In the
Uber.
car.
So
हाँ.
200-300 यूरो ऐसे कुछ भंकस उन लोग का कुछ है फाइन वाइन. तो आई सेड मैं तो उल्टी नहीं करना है गाड़ी में और दूसरा पैसे नहीं देने हैं भाई उल्टी उल्टी फ्री.
so, and the thing is, Baba has booked the cab. तो भरेगा तो बाबा भरेगा. So he is more
देना चाहिए था.
invested. He is so invested. Like suddenly this movie has gone from Hangover to Mission Impossible. Like, how do we get this guy to the hostel before he projectiles? ठीक है. तो and it was so cut to cut, second to second. गाड़ी रुका है, ये बाहर आया है, सीधा ऊपर है, वापस. Crazy.
ब्रो
So,
ये हो पाया बिकॉज तू एम्स्टर्डम में था रात को खाली थी.
Yeah.
मैं इधर अगर किधर होता ना मैं तो कर दिया होता इधर.
खिड़की
he was
से
not even ready to stop for me to throw up, right? Like they don't even do that. Uber's like तू बैठा गाड़ी में अभी तेरे को मैं छोड़ेगा एंड पे बीच में रोक नहीं सकते उल्टी करने के. उनका वो भी एक टंटे है.
अच्छा ये सब नहीं है क्या कि भैया 2 मिनट रुको मैं सब्जी लेके
2
आया
मिनट
हूँ?
रोक. अरे पागल है
अरे
सीधा तेरे को
बिल्कुल नहीं,
निकाल के बाहर
बिल्कुल
फेंक
नहीं.
देगा. फेंक देगा बोले निकलो.
अरे
तो
पर
वो
संतरे
नहीं
बड़े अच्छे हैं यार.
तू
नहीं
बाहर निकला गाड़ी से वो कंटिन्यू करेगा ड्राइव करने. वो निकलेगा वो तेरे डेस्टिनेशन पे जाएगा कि मैंने अपना काम किया. ये
काम किया
उतर
है.
गाड़ी से.
yeah, it was but so
ब्रो
here's the
वो
thing.
खत्म करके मैं जाके पास आउट हुआ हूँ ठीक है. एंड आई एम समवॉट इन सेंसेस इन द सेंस दैट आई कैन हियर दीस बॉयज स्पीक और मेरे को फोमो हो रहा है बिकॉज आई हैव हर्ड आदर एंड कौतुक से चल अपन नीचे जाते हैं ना.
Yeah.
और मेरे
और
को
क्या
बहुत
खाएंगे?
मन कर रहा है.
हम
और क्या
लोगों को
खाएंगे?
पिज्जा खाना है कौतुक और मेरे को.
मेरे दिमाग में वापस पिज्जा है. मतलब शिट कल भी नहीं खा पाया आज तो खा के रहूंगा पिज्जा ये वो भूल गया हूँ. तुम लोग चले गए ब्रो. आई एक्चुअली गॉट अप. आई वाज लाइक नहीं मैं भी
Unbelievable.
जाऊंगा. एंड देन एज मैं ऐसा उठा ना 5 4 3 2 1 ये ठाप करके पीछे.
हाँ.
मैं बोला नहीं जो होगा बाद में आज
Because
नहीं.
I'm very surprised because I'll tell you something. So we put him in the bed and we didn't put Varun Thakur. We put the sarcophagus of Tutankhamun. क्योंकि वो तो out.
ये खत्म. This is gone.
हाँ, with this but hands over here like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have and then and by the way, so at this point in the night, surprisingly, I'm fine. Like I'm pretty like we've had a lot to drink, but I'm fine. So Adar and I have gone down. We couldn't get pizza that day also because it was shut or it was over or whatever.
Right.
And so we've had popcorn. We've had like I've held a full conversation with Adar. It's been great. Fully lucid. Gone back to sleep. Been like, oh, it's going to be great tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning arrives, and Varun is surprisingly fine.
Great. Varun is feeling great for some reason.
He has projectiled it before only.
Ah.
But I have woken up like the Walking Dead. I have woken up like a zombie. Oh.
I remember every time I would go to sleep ना my layers of clothing would come off, right? ये निकला वो निकला एंड में या तो नंगा या तो एक टी-शर्ट है ऐसा ऊपर. मैं एट डिफरेंट पॉइंट्स ऑफ टाइम फ्रॉम नाइट टू मॉर्निंग ना, ऐसे आँख खुल जाती है तो थोड़ा तो आजू बाजू देखता है, फिर सो जाता है। तो एक बार देखा मैंने, कौतुक मेरे बाजू में है उधर, ठीक है, उस नॉर्मल इसमें सो गया। थोड़े टाइम बाद उठा, उसके ऊपर एक और कुछ पहना हुआ है कौतुक ने, मतलब ये तो नींद में कपड़े बदल रहा है क्या? फिर सो के तीसरे बार जब मेरी आँख खुली ना, कौतुक पफर जैकेट पहन के सोया है। ये तू स्लीप ड्रेसिंग क्या कर रहा है कि विद एवरी 1-2 hours that I was waking up, one layer of clothing keeps going over Kautuk. And then the last thing I remember, I उठा, कौतुक गया, जाके ये करके मैंने, कौतुक अपने को थोड़ा खाना पड़ेगा तो चल नीचे जाके खाते हैं। फाइनली मैं नीचे जाके पिज्जा मंगाया, बोला आज तो खाऊंगा, अभी तो हैंगओवर है, यू नीड पिज्जा टू सोक अप द अल्कोहल। मैं इधर पिज्जा कॉफी ये सब कर रहा हूँ, कौतुक ने बोला एक क्रोसॉन, ठीक है, तो आया ही नहीं।
जो आया भी
जो
नहीं।
आया नहीं, जो ना कौतुक को याद रहा ना मुझे याद रहा। आई विल नेवर फॉरगेट, कौतुक ऐसे सिद्धि और ईरा से बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, उसके हाथ में फोन है, वो देख रहा है, लेकिन कौतुक के मुंह पे मौत है, मौत।
या
मौत, कौतुक ऐसा है लिटरली।
Oh.
कौतुक ठीक है ना? ब्रो मेरी हालत बहुत खराब है। ऐसे था वो लिटरली, ब्रो आई हैव नेवर सीन इट लाइक दैट। फिर
या
तू जाके
या
थोड़ा एक मैप लिया, फिर जाके हम लोग सैरेडॉन खा रहे, चने जैसे, इलेक्ट्रोलाइट पी रहे, पता नहीं क्या क्या, 3
it
कॉफी कि नहीं भाई शो है,
it
लाइक यू
was
कांट।
yeah
You
it
know, in
was
all of this we forgot it कि आज शाम को शो है, योर फर्स्ट शो ऑफ द यूरोप टूर, पब्लिक आ रहा है देखने के लिए, मस्त है ना, हम सब लोग ऐसे उठे, एक ही आदमी नॉर्मल है बावा, वो
वाह
एकदम खा पी के उठ के जाके शॉपिंग करने गया
breakfast
है। ब्रेकफास्ट जलाटो सब करके
ah
आया है क्या? कैसे हो तुम लोग? और हम लोग सब ऐसे।
अह, अह। अब मैं बाबा को बोल रहा हूँ कि बस मैं शो पे जा रहा हूँ, कुछ खाना ले आ। नाउ वी हैव नॉट ईटन एनीथिंग so far and
yeah
it's almost show time, we have
तो
to go।
आया लॉर्ड, मैं तो
हाँ तो
पिज्जा
फिर
दबा
हमने खा गया। हाँ मैं एक कोई एक ऐसा पफ खाया था बस, एंड एक पफ और कॉफी पी के मैं निकला हूँ। एंड कौतुक तो हाथ ही नहीं लगा रहा है खाने को। एंड
I
बाबा
was
रिक्वेस्टेड बाबा कि बाबा जस्ट कैरी सम फूड। बाबा फकर डिडंट कैरी वन थिंग फॉर एनी ऑफ अस, नोइंग कि हर रात को हम लोग का हालत खराब था।
but
बट
the
लाइक
show
इन स्पाइट ऑफ
was
दैट आई थिंक एक एक टाइम पे आके सडनली एक एड्रेनलिन किक्स इन ना, बिकॉज़ लाइक नहीं भाई अभी शो टाइम है, कम ऑन। और थोड़ा
हम्म।
मूड है ना। और एक चीज है भाई यूरोप की, जो तूने देखा है, नोटिस किया होगा कि तू हैंगओवर में उठा है ठीक है, बट वंस यू टेक अ शावर एंड यू गो आउट एंड यू जस्ट
या
टेक इन द एयर। आदर याद है अपन, तू और जब भी कौतुक नहा रहा था, अपन वॉक के लिए गए, आज का आदर एट द
दैट
स्टार्ट ऑफ द
15
वॉक
मिनट्स
ना,
चेंज्ड एवरीथिंग फॉर मी, जस्ट
मैं
बीइंग
ऐसा
आउटसाइड।
था,
हाँ
हम लोग जस्ट जो हॉस्टल के सामने पार्क है ना, उस पे 3-4 चक्कर लगाए ब्रो, आई एम जस्ट ब्रीदिंग, अपने आप एक सडनली चेंज। शो टाइम, और क्या शो था, फर्स्ट शो ऑफ द टूर, सुपर सुपर venue and all of that. And what blew my mind with the Amsterdam show was that we met so many of the people after the show, right, who came to watch.
yeah
And it blew my socks off when people have come and said, I have come from Sweden,
yeah
I have come from Norway. I have come from Germany. People have come from like, even though it's Europe, but it's still a different country of taking a flight,
या
figuring out to stay. And I mean, even the people who came from Amsterdam or Utrecht or whatever, like, thank you, because
हाँ
like those things just suddenly make you feel like, dude, what? Like somebody actually bought a flight ticket from another country to
राइट।
come and like that is so. Thank you. Firstly,
I,
because I remember hearing and messaging Nikita, my parents, that listen, you won't believe, but people have come from other countries.
yeah
So thank you to
like
each and every one of you.
and after the show we had like a little like whoever had stayed back for to chat and to get stuff signed and stuff, like it was just such a nice pleasant, like it was a really good time, like, and I think like it was I can safely say this about all the shows across India, Europe, everywhere. Every single interaction we've had with anybody has been like, it really puts the podcast into perspective. It puts what we do into perspective. Like it really like
Yeah.
it tells you that this is what we're
This is
doing.
what you do everything for. Like this is what you want. And you're right, man. Like from India to your last show, these 18 odd shows of this Uncensored that we've done, the amount of people we've gotten to meet, hear stuff from them, just interact, just chat. Like y'all have no idea how amazing it makes us feel. Like it makes us think that what we're doing, we're
yeah
doing, and this is the reason we do it for. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Dude,
Thank you.
also, I
And
think interaction wise, I have not spent this much time with you guys without
that's true.
an agenda in 7 years.
That's true. I
Like,
think
Yeah.
this was the first time all four of us toured in a long time. I think like a long
yeah,
since like
this has not happened in 7 years. This shit के सब बैठे
Yeah,
हैं.
this was the
Also,
start of the fall.
also किसी ने हाँ, this was the start of the fall. किसी ने लिखा था कि everybody's drink is representing who they are.
That's true.
It is. मैंने बोला कि अरे अभी स्टार्ट हो रहा है तो अभी ऑरेंज जूस पीते हैं. ठाकुर बोला
हाँ.
fuck it beer. बाबा
Beer.
का कोको कोला पकड़ा है
Diet Coke, buy or Diet Coke.
and Kautuk has this weird monstrosity, which was
No, it was
great,
Irish
by the
coffee,
way.
na?
Irish
Yeah,
Irish
coffee
coffee.
with whipped cream, which is two inches,
Oh,
2.5
man.
inches long.
That was a good Irish coffee. Yeah, but this is a great photograph. Great photograph.
Yeah.
And
Man.
also, like after the Amsterdam show, there's this other thing also that comes to mind, wherein for me, by the Amsterdam end of the Amsterdam show, I had already been in Europe because Nikita और मैं पहले स्पेन में holiday पे गए थे. Right? I was already out for a good 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Before that, तो एक होता है ना कि I usually ban no Indian food on trip. तो बाकी सब अलग अलग
yes.
खा फिर इंडिया जाके ये करेंगे. But when you are down and out, तू थक गया है, तू मर गया है, तू गंदे हैंगओवर में, फिर अच्छा शो हुआ है, nothing quite hits the spot like
Yeah,
Indian food. And our promoter there, Surmeet, post the Amsterdam show, took us to this Indian restaurant. And oh my God, all we have done
Amazing.
throughout this meal, we were taking a bite, fuck, bro, क्या खाना है? Everybody just moaning and saying क्या खाना है, क्या खाना, पेल दिया है bro अपन ने.
Do you
put
remember
on
the
3
name of
kilos
that
that night.
restaurant?
Tasty Indian Bites, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's called Tasty Indian Bites
Close.
in
Yeah, it's
in the
something
pipe.
similar.
Shows.
It's in the pipe.
हाँ.
So you'll some Tasty Indian जिधर भी देखा और उधर the pipe में go check that out. Very nice
Please,
food.
genuinely
And some
do check it out.
insane, like his butter chicken that he made. He said it's his wife's recipe. Fucking phenomenal because it wasn't that sweet wala butter chicken or this. It was like the right amount of everything. And I've not had as tasty butter chicken in India also. So
Yeah.
go check it out. बस वो खा के फिर आई थिंक दैट्स व्हेन वी केम बैक ऑन ट्रैक ओनली टू रियलाइज कि भाई कल बर्लिन शो है
कल बर्लिन
और उसके लिए उठना है जल्दी 6 बजे और फ्लाइट पकड़ के जाना है बर्लिन और पहुंच गए. बर्लिन कैसा लगा तेरे को कौतुक?
Berlin. So so the thing was the day we landed, we had a show that evening. So we checked in, freshened up, and then headed for the show. The show was really good in Berlin. Like what
Super venue also.
the venue exactly.
The venue, the vibe, of the full test army that is there. Like overall, when you see the videos, you'll see it in Vlogish. It just gave such a insane vibe. Even though we were about 130, 140 people in the crowd, but they were loud. They were
It was like a concert.
involved. It was like a concert. You'll see some videos. उधर आदर गा रहा है, उधर tech
Dude.
वाला मस्त writing दे रहा है,
Okay,
हम public साथ में नाच रहे हैं, गा रहे हैं. It was insane.
The
That
guy who handled
venue
the
and
tech,
the thing was,
the guy who handled the tech, he had been in it for about 20, 25 years, and it showed
Yeah.
because he hadn't seen the show, but he was just like, you know what I'll do? If you guys are okay with it, let me give you light cues, where I feel. And we're like, cool,
Yeah,
okay, go
dude.
for it. The guy nailed it. Like every single time Aadar was hitting like a chorus or whatever, he would just start flashing lights. And
by the way, it's a
it was
German
amazing.
dude who's going to do light cues for Hindi songs that
Yeah.
too are
Yeah.
a parody. So there's like 7 different layers that he has to unravel before he understands, but he got it. And it was incredible that venue, the vibe, even like the audience reaction for that show was incredible. मजा आ गया था.
And so the thing with Berlin was that the next day we had kept aside to see Berlin, and Bawa had kept aside to fly to London for some reason.
Oh shit, yeah.
So Bawa is again cut out, culted. And so the three of us now do the Berlin history tour, right? So we go and see, and it was such a great day. I'll tell you why, at least for me. What we did was we landed up at the Berlin Wall, right? And or what remains of it. And we just walked all across the Berlin Wall. And so here's what they had done. In 1991, when the wall came down, they invited artists from around the world to come and paint their vision of what they felt had happened here and what they felt like the world should look like in the future. And so this wall is literally graffitied, painted, lit up by these artists who have projected their ideas of peace, of unity, of their message of humanity, all of that stuff, right? Across the wall. And to see like different visions. So there's artists from India, there were artists from across the world, Eastern Europe, America, all over.
So this is the East Side Gallery. So you'll
East
see
Side
like
Gallery.
there were parts where there are parts of the Berlin Wall where they have preserved as is and sort of given you like the historical significance with like images like this happened here, and just to see that juxtaposition of being in 2024. Like I've been there multiple times
Yeah.
before, but just for three of us when we're sitting there and you're reading the whole thing again, you just realize how powerful it is that that specific place, which is popping right now. Okay, it's full state of the art, everything is amazing. But what exactly happened at that one particular wall fucking 40 years ago was incredible to see. Like there's just so much. It is history है भाई Berlin में. तू चलते जा रहा है history. अरे history.
Everywhere.
History.
It's just literally you can be reading your way through Berlin on like from monument to monument or like piece to be. And speaking of artists, we met these really great artists who were creating their rap album cover. And
हाँ हाँ अरे ये सब फोटोज डालनी चाहिए भाई अपन ने. ये तो हम लोग full back road boys.
This is back road. It's like this is an opportunity for us to pose against the Berlin Wall. And if it wasn't clear enough, it is Berlin.
Yeah, no, and this was a great day because I don't the thing is, some things you remember for the places and the history of the places, but this particular day I will remember for you guys, for the people in this thing. Like, it was just a fun day.
And again, we have walked. We we were living in central Berlin Mitte, which was where our hostel was. From there we walked. हमने metro भी लिया because that is another thing. बोल दे कौतुक मजा है कि नहीं, just to take metros and all of that. There's something about like every time I go out, I get so excited about this. I keep saying this to people again and again. The vibe of just taking well-connected public transport just makes you feel like, यार क्या मजा आया मेरे को यार, आज मैंने मेट्रो लिया, which is very normal, basic, ऐसे कुछ mind blowing नहीं है, लेकिन जब भी मैं लेता हूँ ना मजा आता है.
No, and by the way, you can tell, like having been to a bunch of cities, you can tell which cities are more tourist friendly and which cities are less tourist friendly. Like by the amount of ease with which you can navigate their metro system.
Correct.
So Zurich and all these places, like they take that one extra step to be like, we're going to, because we know that you're not going to understand German. So here is like some other languages and stuff like that. And it's much easier to navigate. Spain were like, no, only if you live in Spain, you understand. Otherwise,
no.
देख ले तू अपना.
Policia, Pharmacia, Emergencia. Policia, Pharmacia, Emergencia. By the way, speaking of, तू भी स्पेन गया, मैं भी स्पेन गया, तो अपन बहुत स्पेन सुना है, right? And if you see Spanish people also, they'll say it like that. It's gracias.
Yeah.
Gracias.
Gracias. तो Pharmacia ऐसे बोलते हैं. And apparently the history is that one of their kings back in the day, he had a sort of a speech impediment like this, had a list. So because he would say like that, to not offend him, everybody else also started saying like that. If I'm
not offend him.
अलग ही कुछ चल रहा है.
I think it's that other thing. One is to not offend him. Second is कि culture always goes downstream. So public literally go like, oh, it's aspirational if the king speaks like that. So maybe thoda, and then it just continues.
This must be the correct way.
So, but yeah, they do have that slight this thing.
Oh, by the way, we have to tell people. So this Berlin day, right? We've decided again we are going to leave in the morning and we'll come back straight at night because there's no coming back, doing a stopover, then go. No, एक बार बाहर है, एक दिन है तो पूरा top to bottom तू 12 घंटा बाहर है. तो हम लोग पूरा historical ये किया है, उधर गए. Then one of my really close friends, Adi Sekhri, he lives in Berlin. So he decided to come meet us. तो अभी हम लोग 4 लोग गए. तो अभी तू बर्लिन में है तो तेरे को डोनर तो खाना है. तो we didn't want to do a repeat of pizza. तो पहले ही फटाफट सब कुछ सर्च करके रख दिया. अच्छा डोनर भी मिला है, फलाफल सब मिला है. बोला okay, now stomach has been lined up. Now we can go pub crawling again. So we
because beer Germany से अच्छा कहाँ मिलेगा अभी?
कहाँ मिलेगा, right? तो मस्त beer पीते अभी चलो चलते वापस, बट वी विल प्री प्लान इट। तो पहले ही थोड़ी जगह ढूंढे, वाइब अच्छी है, ओके वाइब, वी फाउंड अ वाइब, वी हैव गॉन इन, एंड आई थिंक
That
दिस इज द फर्स्ट टाइम
sorry, let me
व्हेन,
just tell you what that vibe was. So Thakur has
नहीं
found a
नहीं, रुक रुक
place.
रुक, वो पहले पहले था एंट्री वाला,
No,
वाइब तो
but
अंदर।
I'll just tell you the name
Ah,
of the place. So the name of the place is called Madame Claude. Okay.
now it's
And
you are assuming a lot of things, but no.
And
and they're
no,
all right.
you're assuming right. It used to be a former brothel that is now, not now, but almost 15-20 years back, converted into a bar. And
Hmm.
here's the thing with Berlin, you'll go to a lot of places, they're very like thematic bars. So the bar has a certain theme running through it. Like I'd been to one which was a movie theme bar. So you could go underground and there was fucking DVD collections of every movie you can imagine, posters. It had a very film vibe. So this place we went to, it's called Madame Claude. Okay, we have entered, and as we're about to enter, there's a girl and a guy at the reception, and they're like, "Oh, we have a special musical night tonight." So we're like,
Experimental
"Oh, okay."
music.
Yeah. So we asked, "Well, what music?" So she said, "Experimental music." We're like, "Okay, all right." And she's like, "The entry is basis donation, right? So you pay what you feel like and then you enter." Now, this is how miscommunication works, right? Because, so I said, "How much?" She said, "It's between 5 to 12. No, 5 to 15." She said,
Four,
"Between
four
5
to
Ah,
to
12.
15,
4 to 12.
4 to 12
4
or
to
5 to
12.
15 or something like that." Now, you automatically, when you're traveling also, you in Rome, you do as Romans, so you don't want to be chindi and be like, नहीं नहीं, मैं 4 बोला तो मैं 4 दूंगा, right? और मैं देखो 15 भी नहीं दूंगा, तो कुछ बीच में का. So I asked my friend who is a local कि भाई usually public कितना देते हैं? तो he has said, कितना बोला उसने? 20.
उसने बोला 12.
उसने मिस कैलकुलेट कर दिया, हम लोग 4 लोग थे, तो उसने 20 बोला बेस्ड ऑन सब लोग, उसने
No,
15
no, no,
बोल
no,
दिया.
no, no, no. So what he said was, what Sekri said was, he said give 12. Why did he say that? He basically, the math
Oh,
calculation
because 4 of
he
us is
got
4
wrong.
4 4 4.
So yeah, so
हाँ,
he wanted to say 16, but he basically calculated for 3 people for some reason. So he said 12 कि 4 दे दे और अंदर जाते हैं, right?
उसने खुद को नहीं गिना होगा बेचारे ने. हाँ,
And so Thakur heard 12
And
and he
I
said
heard 12 per head.
per person.
हाँ, तो
या
आज घंटा 12 क्यों देंगे, चल ठीक है 10 देते हैं. तो हम लोग ने 10 बोला है. And she said, okay, so 10 per head, yes. 40 euro भरे हम, ये ले 40 euro. And then
एंट्री के,
suddenly
ये
we
कवर चार्ज
we
नहीं है बाय द वे. दिस इज
हाँ,
जस्ट
ये डोनेशन है. We have given before we've heard what the fuck is going on inside also. ठीक है, तो पहले बार इंडियंस को किसी ने चूतिया बनाया, उन्होंने भी पैसे लिए ना. I don't know if you remember, but they just glanced to look at
Yeah,
each
yeah.
other कि
Yeah, yeah.
ये कौन है?
It was a
अमीर
look.
लोग,
It was a look that said no refunds. That's what
no
that look
refund,
was.
straight.
या
And we've realized, obviously, our
फॉपा.
chutiapa, right?
हाँ,
Fopa, fopiapa. So we've gone down, and the theme in this club is that this is an upside down bar. So when you enter, you have chairs and tables on the ground also, but even when you look at the ceiling, it looks like the floor. तो उल्टा
हाँ.
सब attach करके रखा हुआ है. Now there's this DJ who's playing experimental music.
Oh shit.
And if you want to hear what it is, you can take an iron rod and screech it on a metallic surface.
नहीं, it wasn't even that. If it was that, that would evoke a strong emotion. The point of music, guys, is to evoke strong emotions. If you ram an iron rod against a wall, that creates something inside you. This is, अगर तुमने ट्रेन को लिया और उसको 5 किलोमीटर पर आवर पे छोड़ दिया और वो ट्रेन चलती जा रही है, ठकड़ 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 ठक. That's it. That was most of the बीच में. हाँ.
Dude, we eventually realized that the experimental music was basically her experimenting on us.
On
Yeah.
us. I think they
कितना
were
देर
taking
ये
the
लोग बैठ
piss
सकते
out of
हैं.
everybody कि मेरे को
Yeah.
देखने कितने लोग ये सुनने के बाद भी बोलते नहीं यहीं बैठेंगे.
Yeah.
I
और
think
public
वो
अपनी
ऊपर,
करेंगी.
आई थिंक जो ऊपर बैठी थी ना बंदी जो टिकट बेच रही थी, वो सब लोग को उल्लू बना रही है कि एक्सपेरिमेंटल एक्सपेरिमेंटल. अब हमने ज्यादा पैसा दे दिया तो चीज लाइक फक, हमारे पास आर्टिस्ट तो नहीं है. वो खुद ही नीचे आके कुछ झोल झपाटा करके फिर वापस चली गई ऊपर.
Bro, I have not heard worse. Like we can't even call it music. I don't think you can call it.
was
It was sound.
sounds.
It was sound. And you can't even call it sound. I don't even know what to call whatever the fuck that was, bro. It was so weird. Suddenly the place filled up. I'm like, इन लोगों को मजा आ रहा है इधर, ये जो आए बाकी
Yeah.
लोग करके ऐसे तुम लोग को मजा आ रहा है, हम लोग उधर बैठ
It's
के
a
गाली दे
vibe.
रहे कि कहाँ आ गए, 40 यूरो भर के ये वो. It was the worst. I think I have शायद व्लॉगिश में आपको दिख जाएगा क्योंकि हम लोग
Vlogish
ने
में
एक
शायद आएगा.
we
गाली गाली देते
eventually
हुए.
we got up like 3 songs in and we left. And as we're leaving, right, the people at the reception, they have literally not made eye contact, looked at the ceiling as we have walked
Yeah.
past.
और वो सीलिंग पे अपसाइड डाउन कुछ था भी नहीं. It was just a ceiling.
Bro, you know, I can imagine the artist who has then gone back and been like, अरे काफी collection हुआ है आज तो.
हाँ. नॉर्मल से ट्रिपल हो गया.
आज पूरे नाइट में कितना बनाया? 50 यूरोस. क्या बात करें, उसमें से 40 अपन ने दिए और बाकी सब 1-2 नहीं देने का है, सिर्फ अपने से लिया होगा ब्रो. तो दैट डीजे शुड बी थैंकफुल. यू आर वेलकम फॉर दैट नाइस डिनर. इट वाज ऑन अस. But the last place we went to was
Right.
nice. You know, we just went to a very nice bar, made great cocktails, where हम लोग चारों बैठ के सिर्फ बात करके हंसे चीजों पे.
बस.
And that was more fun, you know, than sitting in that monstrosity of a bar.
I had
Oh,
my
yeah.
first espresso martini in my life with you
Oh yeah,
in
Oh,
that
yeah.
bar.
that was a good bar.
And after
was a
that,
good
I
bar.
couldn't sleep. The problem with espresso martini is हम लोग वहां पे बार पे बैठे हैं. Now my body clock has changed. I don't know क्या हो रहा है because we've been sleeping off. The moment I have coffee, I have to go. So in that bar, the moment I had the bloody coffee, I'm like, my body's like, oh, it's time. Chalo. Thank God it was a clean bar.
Yeah.
And by the way, even this second night तो अपने साथ बाबा नहीं था. In fact, first night, you know, in Berlin, we have to tell people that तो हमने बाबा इतना थक गया था कि वो हम लोग को बोला था, बस मेरे को सोने का है, तुम लोग जो कर रहे हो करो, मुझे सोने दो. और वो लिटरली सोया है. और आदर और मैंने, यू सी इट इन ब्लॉगेज, बट आदर और मैंने उधर उसके स्नोरिंग को सैंपल लेके हम लोग ने बीट बॉक्स करके एक गाना बनाया थे. को याद है
Dude.
क्या?
हाँ. I
बाबा
think
ऐसा
I
लेटा
have
है,
the video.
वो चल रहा है और हम लोग ने वो यूज करके. एंड दिस बाबा स्नोरिंग बीट बॉक्सिंग वाज मच मोर
Better.
music than that experimental DJ person. Okay, this was better music than that.
Dude, Baba,
God.
you know, when Baba wants to tell you that he can't accompany you anywhere or whatever, right? He will straight tell you the biological reason why he can't do it. So he will say, अरे bro, मेरा cartilage है ना, मेरे दो नी के बीच का जो cartilage है ना, वो है ही नहीं अभी, तो मेरे को बहुत दर्द होता है. Please यार. So then what can you say to a person who has the medical report?
Yeah.
ठीक है, no problem.
Ready at will to be given.
हाँ.
So after that was London, जहाँ हम लोग साथ में तो नहीं थे. तो तुम लोग ने क्या किया है? कौतुक, तू अपना लंदन का बता, तूने क्या किया, तू कहाँ रह रहा था?
So I stayed with so basically England for me had become a place to meet some really old friends. So I stayed I did 2 different this things. So in London I stayed with Ankit and Vandita and their daughter Miraya. So I was in a place. So basically this was I think towards the west. So there was a place called like I can't dox them actually. What am I doing? But
Yeah.
basically West London. And again, like for me surprising about, sorry, can you hear me?
Mic off हो गया.
One second. So the thing that was surprising for me was I leave the airport, get onto the metro, the tube, right? And I'm on the tube, and the most crazy thing was just looking around and being like, it felt like I was in a tube in India. सब ब्राउन नहीं लोग थे.
तो सब सुनाई दे रहा ना, मराठी, पंजाबी, हिंदी,
Literally.
गुजराती, मेरे को सब सुनाई दे रहा है. आई हैव नॉट हर्ड व्हाइट पीपल, नो ब्रिटिश एक्सेंट.
Literally.
ब्रिटिश एक्सेंट सुनाई दी, टर्न किया तो इंडियन ही था.
हाँ.
तो yeah, it was a बहुत diaspora, बहुत second generation, बहुत like just a lot of desi folk, and stayed at their place. It was really nice because like the thing was that they were obviously working during the week, so I would also set out with them and explore London. तो बहुत सारा चीज देखा मैंने. Dude, I did a lot of football in Europe, which for me was very this thing. So before I just tell
Not
you,
playing, watching.
Yeah.
a lot of watching. So just to preface this with one other thought, which was that I realized this on this trip. So basically, when you're traveling to a new city, chances are that you will not have enough time to cover the entire city or even a
You
fraction.
never will, bro.
You never
You
will.
never will.
Right. So what I found that has given me a little bit of like this thing is that if you are traveling to a city, pick a theme that you want to explore, something that you like. So for example, it could be literature, it could be sport, it could be history, it could be whatever, right? Pick one lane, food, right? Pick one lane and just look at that city through that lens, right? And you will find that you will hit interesting spots which will probably not be on the main circuit, and you will also not leave with FOMO, because like you'll be like, oh yeah, I saw some interesting stuff within that one small like fraction. So for example, in Europe, like I did the sports and the literature thing, right? So Madrid ka match dekha, which was for me like a dream come true, right? I've been supporting Madrid for what, 2 decades now. So to actually go to the Bernabeu to see the match and to see them win, right? Like that atmosphere, that vibe, it was something else. Like very memorable, very like a truly bucket list moment for me.
Bro, तू ये बोल रहा है मैं मेरा भाई because I met him in London, right? He came with his girlfriend. So before that, he also went to Manchester to
Yeah.
watch United play, and he watched the United Tottenham match. And the entire time the match is going on, I'm getting the updates, and I'm like,
Oh,
"Fuck, yaar, bichara, bichara."
oh,
I also wanted his first time at United to be a victory, right? So now he's gone with his girlfriend. His girlfriend doesn't know the F of football. She doesn't watch anything. So she has gone in blank.
yeah.
So she's had a great time because vibe is great, atmosphere is great. Arey, itna acha, arey, sport. And when you're not supporting for team, you're just watching it for the vibe and football. She's having a great time.
Yeah.
So she is going to enjoy. She said, I loved it. It was so much fun. और ये बोल रहा है साला मैं ये नहीं हो सकता
और
मेरे साथ.
Ten
सेकंड में
Hag,
जाके बोला
Ten Hag.
यहाँ से निकलेश ये नहीं
So
देख रहा मैं.
exactly, like for me, it was the true joy of sport, where you are in a stadium and 70,000 people together are abusing the opposite team. Yeah.
Yeah.
ये होता है भाई. तो पूरा देखा. So basically in England, I had the opportunity, the privilege, the honor of going with Bawa to Stamford Bridge to watch Bawa's first Chelsea game. So if I've been supporting
इजी
Madrid
वाला
for
गेम
20
देखने गए ना.
years,
इजी वाला गेम.
तो बहुत easy. So if I've been supporting Madrid for 20 years, Bawa's been supporting Chelsea since the 4th century BC. तो वो तो
He
बहुत.
conceptualized the idea of football teams.
Yeah. So the thing was what Thakur is saying, ki it was a Europa Conference League game. Okay, it's like the third tier of European competitions. Okay, so they were playing a team called Ghent, okay, which was from Belgium, and it's literally spelled Gent. So Chelsea versus Gent. Okay, that's what it was. That's what was
And
the.
if you saw the match, you thought it was Chelsea playing against one gent. It was that easy.
So the thing was, I kept telling Bawa, competition kya, terrible competition. Your team doesn't deserve to be here. ये क्या gent, क्या easy होएगा, क्यों देखने का है match? And then Bawa at one point goes like, bro, this is very special for me.
Suddenly Bawa emotional. अरे
Vibes,
मैं बहुत
emotional.
badly देखने था ये.
Yeah. So suddenly like I was like, Bawa will appreciate jokes, but Bawa was like, you know what? This is a sincere moment for me. And I was like, shit, man, I can imagine. I've been through this like 5 days ago. So we sat and we watched the match. It was amazing. Like they very free scoring game. Gent also managed to get 2 goals in, and
Wow.
the interesting thing was to see at the end of the game. For Chelsea, this was just one run-of-the-mill game that we have to get through, right? Gent के लिए तो अरे हम लोग competition बड़ा टीम के साथ के लिए आए ये वो. तो उन लोग के players जाके अपने fans के साथ खड़े हुए. Okay, and their fans, just 10,000 people, just acknowledging the effort, like goosebumps, right?
Yeah.
just that it tells you what sport is about. It's the effort.
Right.
So saw that, and then later when I went to after our show and everything, I went to stay with my friends in Cambridge, Aman and Anshula. So oh sorry, Benny, as she likes to. So basically, I stayed with them, and we saw then the England versus Greece international.
Oh
Oh,
shit.
वो भी देखा?
वो भी मैं देखा, Wembley Park. So and that game, England have lost. So I have
What?
seen, bro, I have seen 80,000 people get upset at the same time. Like, I've just, like 80,000 people just going like, my day is ruined and my money has been wasted. Like, it was. I can't
क्या
explain it.
यार इंग्लैंड
Bro, वो ग्रीस के जो पब्लिक थे ना उधर, वो लोग इतना
4
चिल्ला
लोग
रहे। हाँ ना, हाँ कम थे, बट जो चिल्लाए ना वो लोग, the thing was कि at some point like you knew that they had to be cordoned off. नहीं तो फिर उनको तो
Yeah.
बजा देते पब्लिक।
मैं तो मार खाने वाला है, हाँ. But you know, for me also this time, like apart from apna tour to banging, us chilling, but I've actually managed to squeeze in romantic holiday with BV and make it a family trip also because Karan and his girlfriend joined. So that entire time in London before our show, हम लोग चारों साथ में रह रहे थे, which was also like a very nice vibe, right? Because हम लोग पहले सब लोग separately गए हुए हैं, मैं और करण गए, मैं और निकिता गए, but now to have his girlfriend as we were staying in that Airbnb, मस्त एकदम vibe create हुआ, and I think अपन जब भी फर्स्ट डे पे मिले सब लोग, where I did a big tick from our bucket list that every time we've always spoken about going to watch but never ended up going was watching Book of Mormon
Yeah.
together.
Also thanks
That
to
was, and again credit where due Baba, because Baba हम लोग का, I think at one point of time we said yes because we just wanted Baba to stop asking,
Stop pestering.
right? But we are so glad that he did, because for the longest time we've been wanting to watch Book of Mormon, kabhi hua nahi, and also it was great for my brother, his girlfriend, Jheel, Nikita, because सबको एक you get to watch a unique experience, right? Because for them, even Karan and his girlfriend have never been to London, so they get to also see, and plus you see
Best
comedy, plus अपन सब लोग साथ में, तो it was honestly one of the best experiences, man. Like to just watch a proper play, and especially a funny play at that, and just to see the performances. I mean, you go watch any other play if you want, but this that we watch, बोल दे तेरा mind नहीं blow हुआ just to see the performance of, because they have to act, they have to sing, they have to, even if they're
Actually,
not acting,
we should
they are
ask
in the background. It's
we should ask
incredible.
Adar, how
हाँ.
difficult do you think it is to do the singing, acting, dancing?
So the amount of effort that goes into not ruining your body is way more than the actual performance of it,
What do you
because
mean?
you're training to do 100 shows. So you're not training to go all out in that one madness. So it's always working at 95%.
Oh,
Because if you go
Incredible.
beyond that, you've lost your voice, you've lost your physicality, you've not protected yourself. तुम गिर के अपना टांग तोड़ सकते हो, because there's so many sets moving here and there.
yeah,
The number
yeah,
of
it was very
manpower
impressive.
being coordinated is insane.
And what a good like it's a, by the way, Book of Mormon, if you haven't seen it, and if you do get the chance, do see it. It's very outrageous in terms of what they say and how they say it. It's South Park.
Hilariously
If you,
written.
yeah,
Yeah.
if
Will
you,
never fly in India ever.
yeah, if you've seen South Park,
That
then
version,
that's
the Indian version of it will never fly.
it's a very outrageous show, but it's a very good, like, interesting message at the end of it. Like, so
Yeah.
do catch it, and it's a very funny, very heartfelt. Dude, there were I think Thakur was later also talking about it. Like there are a few actors who catch your eye, right?
Oh,
When
bro, the girl, I forget her name. Dude, that girl, every time she came on stage, you could not take your eyes off her because she was that good a performer. Whether she was singing, whether she was acting, even when she was not the main part of a particular scene, somebody else is doing the talking, but still you can feel that person's presence.
Yeah.
Superb.
yeah,
Superb.
it was
Incredible.
well acted, well produced. Like, it was something to look at. Makes you really want to, like, makes me really want to write a play or something of that sort, maybe at some point. But outstanding.
मत करना.
Bro,
नहीं
I'll
नहीं
tell
ये
you,
नहीं लिखना, पागल है।
I'll tell you
It's too
one
much.
thing.
It's too much trouble. हाँ बोल.
ये टाइम लंदन ट्रिप ऑल्सो वॉज बिकॉज करण का बर्थडे था, ठीक है, 4th अक्टूबर
हम्म
वॉज हिज बर्थडे. सो दिस ऑल्सो बिकेम लाइक अ चल तेरा बर्थडे ट्रिप भी हो जाएगा टाइप सिचुएशन. तो वी डिसाइडेड टू ब्रिंग इन हिज बर्थडे, ठीक है. तो थर्ड नाइट हम लोग बाहर गए. निकिता एंड हिज गर्लफ्रेंड झील हैव बुक दिस रियली नाइस जापानीज प्लेस. वी ईटन देयर. थोड़ा नाइट चालू हुई है. वेंट टू अनदर बार. बाय द वे दिस बार वाज थीम्ड बेसिस ट्रेन्स. सो तेरा
इसे
माइंड द
ट्रेन
गैप
अपसाइड डाउन.
सुनेगा. हाँ नहीं
अच्छा
नहीं, ट्रेन नहीं, ट्रेन नॉर्मली है बट ये वो वाला थीम था, ठीक है. तो अंदर पूरा ट्यूब व्यू वो सब का थीम है. लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस ट्रेन का थीम है. तो लिटरली तेरे वैसे बर्थ होता है ना, ऊपर सामान पड़ा है, तो उन लोगों ने ऊपर ऐसे
हाँ.
सामान रखा हुआ है. ठीक है. तो वी वर सेंडिंग पिक्चर्स टू माय पेरेंट्स. सो माय मॉम लाइक तुम लोग कैसे हो, ट्रेन में बैठ के जाते हो एक बाहर जहां पर भी ट्रेन जैसा ही. तो उन्होंने वो सब किया, ठीक है. नाउ इट्स गेटिंग लेट एंड देयर वाज ओनली वन लाइक सॉर्ट ऑफ ट्रैशी क्लब दैट वाज ओपन. सो मैं, निकिता, करण, झील हम लोग चले गए ये
Hey,
ट्रैशी
stop
क्लब.
calling my house a trashy club.
नहीं तो वी वेंट टू दिस ट्रैशी क्लब इन सोहो, ठीक है. एंड वी
हाँ.
गॉन डाउन. और अभी मूड में है सब लोग, ठीक है, मजे कर रहे हैं. अरे शॉर्ट्स पियो, ये वो, नाचो वाचो. एंड दे आर प्लेइंग अगेन ओल्ड स्कूल ट्रैक्स. सडनली ट्रैक्स विद लिरिक्स, क्योंकि वी लॉट ऑफ द क्लब्स एंड पार्टीज वी गो फॉर वो
Bro,
इलेक्ट्रॉनिक म्यूजिक है. उसमें नहीं है इतने लिरिक्स, ठीक है. इसमें प्रॉपर तू गाना वारा भी है. फुल मजे किए. नाउ वी कम आउट. इट्स अबाउट 3-4 o'clock, ठीक है. बट अरे रात अभी भी जवान है, मजे आ रहे हैं. सो हम लोग कैब में बैठे.
oh
कैब
no.
में भी गाना गा रहे हैं, जोर से चलते हुए गाना गा रहे हैं. देन द फोर ऑफ अस हैव कम बैक टू आवर एयरबीएनबी एंड वी हैव लास्टेड बॉलीवुड. सडनली बॉलीवुड और 2000s की जो तेरे पॉप सॉन्ग्स है ना हिंदी वाले, तो तू बोल ये जे शॉन से लेके ये वो सब कुछ. ब्रो इट वाज क्रेजी. ये पार्टी जस्ट द फोर ऑफ अस. अकेले बोल के नाच के गा रहे हैं. अगले दिन सुबह वीडियो देखे बोला ये क्या कभी किया हम लोग ने. ब्रो इट वाज, यू नो व्हेन यू हैव द मोस्ट फन इज व्हेन यू गो टू योर मोस्ट नेसेंट दिस ऑफ एंजॉयमेंट एंड नथिंग इट्स मोर देन तू हिंदी में बैठ के गाना गा, दारू पिया है, मजा है, वाइब है. और हम लोग, डूड इट वाज सो मच फन. इट वाज सो मच
Nice.
फन. वो और फिर फाइनली अपना शो which
Yeah.
was obviously we sold out. By the way, London, thank you because you all sold
Yeah.
out our show on the same day as there was a Diljit Dosanjh
Diljit
concert.
concert.
Yeah.
ठीक है, 1.5 लाख टिकट बेचे दिलजीत ने, बट फिर भी you guys sold out our show on that day, so thank you. That was a good one.
We were
हम लोग
joking
सोच
about
रहे हैं
that.
दिलजीत, हाँ दिलजीत सोच रहे हैं 350 लोग कम क्यों है यहाँ पे.
Yeah, no,
बट
but
वो भी
Adar,
एकदम,
what were your experiences of being in the city that you live in?
Which
yeah.
was great. It's just it's all the times when you're like walking around and people are like, I listen to this, I really like, I watched this, and it's like finally we get to do it. It's like the number of questions I've been asked over time just walking around here, going for work or whatever, and just like when are you guys coming? When are you guys coming? Finally being able to make it happen was a very big deal for me.
Yeah.
Just के yeah, like अच्छा
बाय द
खासा
वे
full
ये
circle.
ये ट्रिप पे तो हम लोग बोलने वाले कि हम लोग ने, बाबा तो जितना हम लोग उसको निचोड़ सकते थे उसको निचोड़ा है, बट आदर,
Hmm.
आदर को भी हम लोग ने थोड़ा फुल चेंज हो गया. आदर, दिस वाज अ वेरी डिफरेंट आदर टू व्हाट आदर वी आर यूज्ड टू सी. आदर फुल पार्टी एनिमल.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
याद है
Yes.
कि नहीं, देखो भावतुक.
yeah, yeah. Of course I remember. And like you know what I felt on this trip? I felt like um, there is a level of friendship, right? And then there is a level of bonding. And I felt like there is always scope for more bonding.
या
And
Yeah.
and so this was one of those trips where I felt like we bonded even more. Like it was
Yeah,
really
yeah.
crazy.
कि अभी
So
हाँ एक 200-400 एपिसोड और हो सकता है. Yes. ये हो
yeah.
सकता है. We have
नहीं
stories
पर
enough. Now we have some more
Dude,
personal experiences
by the
that
way,
we can talk about.
one thing that I heard so much about but disappointed me tremendously was Nando's. So I
Oh
went to
yes, why
no.
you should not have
I I,
gone. You
I
should have
don't know,
asked us
man.
and we would have told you don't go.
I
It was
heard I heard
15 years ago.
exactly. So I heard like a lot of like Nando's. So I went with my friends Ankit and Vandita. They took me there, and I had the thing. So they have that spice meter and all that, na, ki how
Hmm.
hot do you want it, etc. So Leah second from last, right? The highest, second highest. So they got me that butterfly chicken breast thing with the sauce on it, and I mean, it was a chicken breast with some sauce on it. I can't tell you more than that.
हम लोग का बहुत फेमस नैंडो सॉस वो सब आता था जो
नहीं, the sauce
15
is
साल
still
पहले।
nice. Great to use
The
in your
sauce
house.
was fine.
Like,
The
हाँ,
sauce was
घर पे
fine,
बैठ
but
के अगर तुम बना रहे हो कुछ खाना खुद का, the sauce is pretty good. But one thing I noticed about Kautuk is like Kautuk, whenever he goes, na, the Kautuk सुबह उठता था, and Kautuk used to take in a city. And like for some reason, I managed to capture Kautuk's expression once while he was taking in a city. It's just Kautuk standing and वाह, क्या क्या हो रहा है, वाह. This is that whole
uh,
vibe. And
और
this
वो
one
पूरा
photo I
यू नो
found. This another one I found, which is great. This is
हाँ
यहाँ पे we left
या
some space to Photoshop Neville.
हाँ ये एम्स्टरडैम था।
yeah, that's right.
एम्स्टर्डम. हाँ, तो हम लोग यहाँ पे ना हमेशा जगह रखते हैं कि नेविल आएगा आगे.
You know, so by the way, you know who's taken this picture? So we stopped one a Dutch guy who looked like Dutch Harry Potter. Okay, literally, he had like this
Yes.
circular chashma and very polite guy. He was like, you know, we said, can you get a picture and just leave some blank space for our friend? Like, no problem, right? And then he took the picture and we said, dude, this is great, no problem. And then he just left, and he was outstanding.
Yeah.
मस्त था लेकिन I was just sitting and because for vlogish I was going through all the photos and videos. I think it was overall what a great vibe because in that one thing we each all got to do our own thing. Then we got to come together. अपना बॉन्डिंग हो गया, शोज भी हो गया, फैन से भी मिले. सो ऑल इन ऑल एकदम मजेदार. एंड वन थिंग वी कैन अश्योर यू गाइस, हम लोग हर साल आ रहे हैं. ठीक है, हर साल अपना हफ्ते का तो सीन करेंगे हम लोग. तो wait for next time.
Yeah.
Already plans have started getting cooked. And not just Europe, US, Canada, Australia, Middle East, Singapore, ये वो हर जगह का plan चालू है. तो fingers crossed, a lot of these come through and we get to come, make more memories, do more bonding, do great shows and get to meet all you guys. रैप करें अभी के लिए, ठीक है, क्योंकि इसके अलावा जो स्टोरीज है वो अपने को टेस्ट अनसेंसर्ड 2 पे बोलना पड़ेगा. वो
Yes.
इस पे तो नहीं बोल सकते. बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जो we had to skip out of this, but you never know, we'll get to probably hear it in Uncensored too.
Sorry,
So,
and just to kind of like because it feels like we're rounding off this entire tour. So I just want to just say a few things before we close that thing. So we started talking about this, Thakur and I, in April of this year.
6th of April 2024.
Yeah, 6th of April 2024. And like to, you know, to have those sessions where we were just the two of us jamming and then to have Neville come in and Aadar come in. And by the way, if you
I remember
haven't
15th
seen,
May is when I booked the ticket. I remember I came in just 1 month exactly. I finished my shooting and 3 days later I didn't take a break. I was there because इतना high level पे मेरा FOMO चल रहा था. I was like, नहीं, मैं आ रहा हूँ India.
and because Aadar came in with a vengeance. He came in with like 6 incredible songs, which you have to. I mean, if you haven't seen it,
you can only see it at
only see it
Uncensored.
Uncensored.
Or any of our live shows, we'll get him to
Yeah.
sing those again.
And
Maybe one. I think one we thought we could put out without having problem.
maybe
Yeah.
so so to see that whole journey of this thing coming together, I have to say one of the most fun and rewarding projects that I've done. And it
Yeah.
was like, it's really like the way it's come together and the tour we've done and the places we've played in. It's exceptional. So like, yeah, so thank you for, if you've come out and seen the show and supported it in any way, thank you for being there. We'll be on the road very soon with some different, we have some new ideas, which
Yeah.
will,
So please
New
buy
format.
tickets or we will literally be on the road if we do these shows and you don't come. We want to be
Yeah.
on the road, but not on the road.
Yeah. So a lot of shows planned, a lot of live shows happening. So keep your eyes peeled. We are also going to try and do Uncensored in cities we weren't able to do first time around. Again, we don't have dates on the board, but as soon as we do, you guys will be the first to know. And yeah, just big thank you from all of us, all 4 of us. 4th is not here, but big thank you from all 4 of us. It's because of you guys we are getting to do this, and it's because of you guys that we want to continue doing this. So thank you once again for all your support, love, presents, gifts, words of encouragement, trolling, all of that. So keep it going, and we'll see you soon, very, very soon. Every Tuesday, though, obviously, but also in your city at some point of time. Bas,
Yeah.
baki like, share, subscribe, comment. वो सब करना भूलो
Yeah.
मत यार, प्लीज. We really appreciate it and मजेदार. ओ
This is a
ये वो गली
Bhutia,
थी क्या?
हाँ,
ये
ये
वो
Bhutia
गली
where,
है.
Woods, the Woods.
one of the gullies.
Yeah.
One of the gully. मजेदार.
So yeah,
Okay
back to
guys, we'll
regular
see you
programming.
again next week. Yes. We'll see you again next week. Until then, it's goodbye. Take care. Tata. Salami ishq.
Hold up.
Tada, tada, tada.
Bro, ये भी था, ये बहुत मस्त था. Dude, I think this was the
ठीक है.
first show. Insane.
Yeah, this was Amsterdam. Yeah.
Superb.
बहुत मजा आया था.
तो बाबा ये एडिट करेगा कि
नहीं अभी नो कट.
बाबा गया. No cut.
Okay, so I guess there is no end credits.
That's it.